Bears, Vikings, even quarterbacks have to wait in that security line, you know? No one's exempt.
Come on, let him in.
Regardless, Caleb Williams is on the rise, the former #1 overall pick, doing things that no Chicago quarterback have done. And his Bears have won 6 of the last 7. Let that man in. It's been harder times for Jordan Love, though. Green Bay has dropped 2 straight and need to get back on track fast in a loaded NFC North. It is Week 11, and this is Fox NFL Kickoff.
It's funny. What looks natural is usually the most rehearsed.
All right, give me intensity, but with a bit of gratitude.
Looking relaxed takes control.
Can't ask for a better day, man. Chance to go out there and play football.
Looking graceful takes grit.
Oh, hard-nosed physical football. He's been unstoppable. One man to beat.
Looking effortless? Well, it takes a lot of effort.
How on earth did he catch that?
Look at him go!
Right on kill.
The hard part is making it look easy. And that's kind of beautiful.
Caleb Williams took care of business.
Let's go! Yeah!
Some days you shine, others you just survive.
Passion, energy, all of it, every play.
But never let your competition know the difference.
You wake up with a choice. Don't take it for granted, man.
It's Sunday, and we're all watching.
Fox NFL Kickoff is delivered by Little Caesars, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
The second half of the season means those playoff pictures start coming into focus. In the NFC, the Seahawks are the big surprise, currently sitting at #2 among some familiar names at the top. And that NFC North is looking to add multiple wildcard teams to the mix. Over in the AFC, they are loaded, top to bottom, 4 teams already with 7 or more wins. The Bills are on the bubble. The Chiefs and Ravens are still on the outside looking in. There are a ton of great teams and a ton of great games starting today. And with that, we welcome you in to Fox NFL Kickoff. I'm Carissa Thompson. He is Charles Woodson. He is Julian Edelman, and Jay Glazer will join us in just a minute. But first, our thanks to Ali Lauder for getting us started today. Season 2 of Landman premieres tonight on Paramount Plus.
Good.
It is a fantastic show. Fantastic. You know what else is fantastic? How about them Patriots, Julian?
Whoa.
I was up in Foxborough on Thursday. Your old squad sitting there at 9-2.
9-2, eight in a row?
8 in a row.
Is that 8 in a row? I don't think we had 8 in a row since 2019.
You are correct.
Every time I hear Patriots, I want to throw up.
Well, you know what?
Who was that over there, man?
There was a resounding in the studio. But, Jules, I know that you're excited about your squad. They're looking good.
Very exciting. It's a very exciting time to be a Pats fan. We're all Patriots. Remember that.
We are all Patriots. All right, as the season wears on.
We are all Patriots.
Every game means more, a big part of the playoff picture that just looked to be determined by the records within the division. And with that in mind, today is a meaningful day.
There are 8 divisional matchups in the NFL today, and some may impact who gets into the playoff arena. The Panthers enter Atlanta, where the Falcons look for their first NFC South triumph this season. Caleb Williams' Bears are hungry for a win in the North as they battle the JJs in Minnesota. Chiefs Kingdom heads into Broncos country, where Bo Nix has roped together 7 straight knockouts. Out west, the Cardinals look for their first divisional win versus the 49ers, who are fighting to keep up with the soaring Seahawks and the red-hot Rams.
I love the Street Fighter reference.
Video games.
You know, Week 11.
Vision or Atari or
Oh, I love it all. Yeah.
I know. Week 11, exciting time of the year. The division games mean so much. And the one I'm excited to see the most, Seattle Seahawks playing the Rams. And it's because it's 2 really good football teams, both playing complementary football, playing each other. Both top 5 in defense. Scoring defense, both top 5 in scoring offense, and they're making it look so easy. Last week, the Seahawks, they go out and score 38 points in the first half of a football game.
Right?
That's the NFL. They're running the clock out at halftime. And then 3 weeks for Matthew Stafford, he's got 13 touchdowns. These teams are playing well. They're playing mid-season form. They're well-oiled machines, complementary football. This is exciting football.
And Seattle, let's not forget, too, you know, it used to be that advantage of the 12th man playing at home. Under Mike McDonald, they are 11-1 on the road. That game is in L.A. Greg Olson has the call, and he will be joining us in studio in just a little bit.
That was a good nugget.
That was a nugget.
What division matchup has your attention today, Charles?
Man, I'm looking at the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears. I talked earlier this year about the NFC North and the Chicago Bears being the weak link of that division. But wow, here we are. Well, week 11? Week 11, and the Bears are 6-3. And right now they're on a little bit of a heater. Won 6 of their last 7. In today's game, I know they're looking at this game and they're saying to themselves, we should have had a divisional game win earlier in the season when we played the Vikings, but we had this game in hand. Big turnover after the second half. We're up 17-6. We're going to win that game. And then they let the Vikings come back from 11 and win that game. So I'm looking at the Bears to see if they've been beating teams that have losing records. The Vikings have a losing record today. So do you continue that and continue your trek upward? Caleb Williams is 0-3 against the Vikings. Today, he has to get over that hump and get a win. So I'm anxious to see how Caleb Williams plays today in this divisional game, and can he get a win against the Vikings?
Yeah, one of 9 divisional matchups in total this week, going back to that Thursday night game. Time now to get in the know, brought to you by Jeep. And for that, we say hello and good morning for the first time to Glaze.
Ladies
hey, bud.
and gentlemen, I implore you.
Can we
hear ye, hear ye.
Can we confirm that was a matcha tea for Caleb?
What is that?
On the come-in shop, I thought it was a matcha tea.
I used to work at Starbucks. Yes, it was a matcha. It was an iced matcha tea. Yes.
Good energy.
Glaze, what's your order from Starbucks?
My order? Actually, I have okay, this is true. I have a large, hot coconut milk latte with honey. 7 honey packets.
Okay, so not coffee
so it's all,
at all.
It's all natural.
Hey, Glaze, we only want the truth.
Like your look.
That's right. That's right.
All natural.
But I only have 7 of them each hour. Is that okay? That's healthy, right?
All right, Glaze, we got a big game between the Seahawks and Rams. Julian started us off talking about that. What do you have on this one?
Well, it's interesting. Look, this is called In the Know, right? So did you guys know that the defensive coordinator and the guy who's really helping Mike McDonald with that unbelievable defense is a guy named Adam Dirty, who is British. British. He is the only British coordinator in the NFL. Look, he's the one actually puts together that pass rush. Mike McDonald said he is imperative of what he does with us. We work really well together there, and also the way he communicates with the players, not because of his British accent, but he has a different way of communicating with these guys. He is a star in there. Gonna get you Adam Dirty. You like that?
Adam Dirty? Really?
Adam Dirty. Adam Dirty.
I got it. It's the remix.
Get you Adam Dirty. You like that?
But you have to do it in an English accent if we're going to keep this thing going. Giants, though, it doesn't matter how you say this. It's not good news for Brian Daboll. They fired him. A lot of different names have been floating around for that head coach position. What do you got on that?
See, here's the thing. They're not going to have a coaching search that is going to span everywhere. They're not just going to, open up to everywhere possible and have, 25 guys in. Obviously, there's 2 different lines of thinking that, I talked to Joe Shane, their general manager, about it this week. Obviously, the first way is, hey, do we get a guy to come in and develop our quarterback? The other way is, do we get a guy to come in just for the culture and have confidence that he's always going to have the right coaches, like a Dan Campbell has done over there, right? Or if you have a Mike Tomlin with the right culture. So that's what they're going to be looking at. One place I don't see them going to, though, is college. There's been a million college names out there. I don't see them doing that. But I think you could see guys like, a Mike McCarthy, if we're talking about for offensive coaches, right? A guy like Matt Nagy, a guy like Arthur Jones. I think they'd like Arthur Smith, somebody who's had some experience in the defensive side of the ball. Steve Spagnuolo, Lou Anarumo, who brings that, that presence also. But also a name who's starting to really pop up. We talked about the game earlier. Chris Shula, okay, who is the defensive coordinator for the Rams. But I'll tell you this. Of all the coaches that Sean McVay has kind of pushed along to be a new head coach, the next head coach, he's done more with Chris Shula than all of them combined. These 2 guys were best friends. They went to college together, but he lets him in on everything. Where he may not have done that with everybody else, he does with Shula. He thinks he's going to be a star.
Hey, Glaze, what about Lane Kiffin? I mean, I know he's college, but he coached in the NFL before.
No, he's college. He's a college guy. I just don't see them do it.
Since I'm running a classroom here, I saw Julian put his hands up, which was so nice of you to wait your turn. I know Julian has a question.
Well, is Joe Shaw, is he all right?
Joe Shane, yeah.
He's fine? We're just going to let him roll?
He's the one that's going to end up doing the search.
Okay. All right, before I let you go, Bill Belichick has also... Okay, that's a hard no. All right.
He's a college guy.
He's a college guy.
Glaze, we appreciate you. As always, we'll go let him get his coconut water or whatever he's getting right now.
Coconut latte?
He's still riding dirty, this guy. Coming up...
I'm adding dirty, not riding dirty.
Yeah, we're going to add you into the show later. We're trying a new spin on football predictions, and here's a look at what else is ahead. Adding dirty.
Coming up,
We've got a star-studded lineup headed your way featuring Greg Olsen, Aaron Andrews, and Michael Strahan. Then our favorite Manning, Cooper, gets stylish with Rams safety Quentin Lake. Plus, we sit down with sophomore sensation Caleb Williams and break down the NFC North showdown between the Bears and the Vikes. All that and so much more right here on Fox NFL Kickoff.
The Little Caesars Fox NFL Kickoff is delivered by Little Caesars, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
We're halfway through the season.
The margin for error has disappeared.
They have a great opportunity to start them on a roll going in the right direction.
Focus on what we need to do is embrace adversity.
In light of the fact they struggled the last couple of weeks.
Wake up, smell the coffee.
They have a lot of work to do.
Put this season back on track, trying to stay in the hunt to the AFC playoff picture.
Round and round the NFL season goes. Where it stops, these
Nobody
guys
knows.
think they know. Well, you're supposed to know. That's why we're playing this
Jump
game.
by Val, please.
My bad.
Best gig in television, Vanna White right there. I have the second best gig. All right, I have a random collection of teams that you guys just saw in that video listed on the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel, and you guys are going to tell me how these teams will continue to play the rest of the season and sort of forecast their future. You got it?
Got it.
All right, let's do it.
Got
Charles, you're up first. Spin that wheel, my friend.
Spin it.
Bam.
Dun, 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 dun,
I thought we were going to have a physical wheel. I wanted to spin it for real.
It's right there.
We paid all this money for the studio to
Well,
make it.
I wanted to spin it.
Okay,
So,
you landed on the Ravens.
yes.
Go ahead.
Baltimore Ravens. I think it's going to be a bumpy rest of the season. You know, defensively, still not able to get to the quarterback. I think they only have 12 sacks on the season. But I'm optimistic about them because of one guy, the quarterback. Lamar Jackson is back. Lamar Jackson is healthy. The thing about the Ravens,
Healthiest. Knee was banged up this week, got swollen up. He's going to go today, but it did give him a little problem during the week.
That's breaking news for me, and I like that. I like that. But in terms of who they're playing going forward, they have 5 division games left, all right, against teams that are relying on old quarterbacks, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Cleveland Browns have a great defense, but they can't put points on the board. So when I'm thinking about the Ravens, I think they make kind of a historic run the rest of the season to get themselves to the playoffs and win that division.
It'll be unprecedented if they do actually do that. They started 1-5 and had a 1% chance to make the playoffs. Still the favorite in that division to win it. As you mentioned, they've got 5 of their final 8 games against division opponents. What's this about?
Where do these percentage come from?
So you're
I hear these percentages all the time.
I mean, look, Jules, the reality is this. If you start 1-5, forget the percentage. You've got a very tough chance to make the playoffs. But given that division.
Chance. So you're telling me there's a chance?
Correct. Yes. I am telling you a chance. Now, Jules, I'm also telling you it's your turn. Spin that wheel, my friend.
Let's go. Ready?
Spin.
Who do we got?
We need like a song for this.
Let's go. Who do we got?
Chargers. Tell me what their future looks like.
I think their future looks muddy. They got to rely on Justin Herbert and their defense with Jesse Minters at the helm of that thing. Herbert, he's 3rd in passing. He's also 3rd in sacks. The defense is 4th in total defense. Without the offensive line, without Joe Alt, without Slater all year, it's going to be a lot of makeshift offensive line, and you can't establish that run, get that run game going. They're going to get healthy at the running back position, but it's just going to be a lot of makeshift, muddy games where Justin Herbert's going to have to be that large guy that we like.
They make the playoffs or no?
No, you like the large guy.
I like it.
I want to ask you this. So J.K. Dobbins goes down for the Denver Broncos, right? He's really been carrying their offense. He's been giving them a different identity, right, that Sean Payton needs. Now that he's out, right, do you think that they're going to kind of go down here and the Chargers will go up there?
Well, I think the Chargers are just going to be in the same kind of thing they've been in all year, where they have to scrap these games and try to find ways to win. And I think they're going to make the playoffs, but how far can they get in the playoffs? I don't know.
Yeah, sitting 1 game behind Denver. Denver atop that division at 8-2, but of course have that big game with Kansas City today. All right, Charles, spin that wheel.
Charles, let's go.
Charles.
There you go. I'll see if I can line it up.
I love it. Pittsburgh Steelers. What does their future look like?
Man, I think they are as good as they can get right now at 5-4. The problem with the Steelers is that they have Aaron Rodgers came in, my old friend, but guess what? He's an old quarterback.
Old quarterback.
He can't carry the team anymore like he used to be able to do. They thought when he came in that he would move the chains, pick up first downs, keep the game close, but the defense come in and close the game out. The defense hasn't been playing well, and they can't run the ball. They brought him in to be a piece to help them get over the top, not to be the main piece. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think the road gets very, very bumpy from here on out.
We talked about two of those teams in those division. Last week, Joe Burrow texted me that I think I'm going to be back by Thanksgiving-ish.
Okay.
Do you think that they have a shot?
He was at practice on
we're
Monday,
going to find out.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are who they are. The last couple of seasons, yeah, well, they're going to score a lot of points, but they're going to give up more points. That's what they are as a team.
So it won't make a difference?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, Jules, last but not least.
Last one up. Let me go. Queen.
Dun, dun, dun,
Who do I
dun,
got?
dun,
Who do I
dun,
got?
dun, 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 dun.
Nobody knows.
Oh, we just talked about him. Oh, I think.
Joe Burrow?
I think it's going to be a rough future for the Bengals. Look, Joe Burrow coming into this building is not going to do that much different than what Joe Flacco's done. Joe Flacco scored 30 points and lost 2 games. Yeah. Okay? Joe Burrow may be Superman walking through that door, but his kryptonite's that defense. Yeah. And I got a little advice for a lot of those Cincinnati fans. Go to CVS right now. Unisom's got a really good deal to help you with those restless nights, to help you get that sleep.
A little plug.
Why do you have to bring that up?
What?
All the meds out there, why are you bringing that up?
Yeah, tell us, please.
What are you talking about? What?
Did you bring some for the crew?
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
I'll take some.
Who's spokesman? Bam.
So the question is, can the Bengals make a playoff run? And your answer is no, even with Joe Burrow coming back.
No.
All righty. There you go.
It's tough. It's hard.
Yeah, defense is struggling.
Well, that's been a question mark all year long. But guess what? Cooper Manning, he's going to fix all things. He's on the hunt for a model football player. That's right. And Greg Olsen is going to join us to talk about the NFC West. It's all coming up next on Kickoff. So you guys want the real?
Lock it and deliver. Genius. I'm exhausted and famished. Cuisine, lean.
Quentin Lake, safety for the Los Angeles Rams. Welcome to the Manning Hour.
Appreciate you for having me.
You know, I understand you do some modeling, and when I saw that, I thought you, with your limited physical skills and attraction, were more of a model airplane guy.
You know what they say, do you know how to mog? You know what mogging is?
No, please explain. Tell me what mogging is.
So there's a certain thing where you have to suck in right here to make your chin line look better. So
really,
if you suck in,
which chin?
The second one.
I feel like I'm inhaling a Salem in 8th grade. It's menthol. Q, can I call you Q?
Of course.
Have you always had an interest in modeling?
No.
That makes no sense to me. Explain.
So I realized that the mindset of look good, feel good, play good really, really mattered.
It's a little different on our show. Look okay, act okay, the show will be fine at best. But do you consider yourself worthy of being a professional model?
I could be a runway model.
Really?
Some people, they can only do feet. I feel like you could do feet.
Rex Ryan could do feet.
But for me, I'm full runway.
What are some of your weaknesses?
My eyebrows. I don't have a lot of eyebrow hair. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get them filled in.
Yeah, Greg Olsen has a guy. He fires everything up here, right there.
That's the only thing that kind of gets me a little bit, and then I kind of got like really small ears.
You know, the more I'm looking at you, your ears are really small. Can you even hear me?
Yeah, I can.
What about us two doing a little hand-in-hand runway, just us two, a little ebony and ivory?
We won't hold hands, but we can walk together.
I'd like to be in nothing but Ziploc bags.
Is that sheer?
It's just kind of fleshy with some freckles.
I think this is gonna be better off a solo show.
Well, I don't know anything about eyebrows, but I know that Greg Olsen definitely passes the eye test. And if you don't believe me, ask Greg.
He's been playing at a high level for a long time. You can't coach it, you can't teach it. Some guys are just super talented. That's a big-time play there. He's as talented as anybody there is. He's a stud.
This is unbelievable.
That's textbook. What an athletic, incredible catch. Wow. I get the ball. I'm just trying to run through somebody's face.
This is like watching my 9-year-old play Madden.
And the guy we've talked about all day comes up with a big play. Arguably the greatest football player of all time.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I mean, I got to come into
welcome.
the studio more. This is incredible.
It's weird. Kara
You gotta
actually
feel
sent
good
me
about
that.
yourself right now.
That's a
You
highlight
got
reel
to.
you have on in your house.
And I'm taking shots from my man Coop. There's like 3 people in the world I've done a couples massage with. One of them is my wife. One of them is Cooper Manning. And now I'm taking shots about my eyebrows.
Time out. Give us the context of a couple.
I don't know if we want to know.
It was for the Manning Hour years ago. He came into Charlotte, and next thing you know, the two of us are in a robe. And
I mean,
both naked?
I kept my drawers on.
Sure.
But
it's a family
for all
show.
intents and purposes.
You were naked under your clothes.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Well, look at that. Yes. You're never alone when you have Jesus.
Never.
Greg, thank you for being here today. We love you so much. We're also really excited to talk about the game that you're covering. What an awesome matchup. We've got the Seahawks. We've got the Rams. What stands out the most to you in this matchup?
You know, I'm not sure. So I've been doing this 5 years now. I'm not sure that we've ever prepared for a game where when you go through, like, the strengths and weaknesses of both teams, it's like each team is essentially the best at everything in the league, whether it's offense, defense, you talk about the passing game, the quarterbacks. I think the coolest individual matchup, though, Sean McVay, probably the most innovative, the most, forward-thinking offensive coordinator. He's really set that trend of how teams run offenses around the league. And then Mike McDonald. He's kind of the defensive version of Sean McVay, the cat and mouse, the personnel matching, how they're going to play it. Like, we got 2 of the best football minds in the league, 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Can't wait.
All on the same field. It's going to be awesome.
I think you talk about that matchup, coach on coach, best on best. I look at the defensive lines, and I look at Leonard Williams, and I look at DeMarcus Lawrence. And then on the other side, you got Byron Jones, and you got Jared Verse. And I look at those older guys, right, Leonard Williams and DeMarcus. They're like, you know what? Let me check these guys out. Let me see what's really going on over there. And they're saying to themselves, no. We're the duo that you're supposed to look at and pay attention to in this game. And I think that the thing that's going to decide the game is which one of these duos can get to the quarterback and disrupt the quarterback. They're both playing so well. Sam Darnold's playing well. Matthew Stafford, he's on that historic run. Touchdowns, I think you said 13 and 0 interceptions over the last 3 or 4 games. So these defensive lines with DeMarcus and Leonard, that's going to decide the game today, and I can't wait to see the way these guys
Jules?
perform.
I think what worries me the most is Sam Darnold playing against an elite quarterback. Last year he was 0-2 against the Detroit Lions with Goff, and he was also 0-2 against the LA Rams when he played Stafford. And that was with the Vikings, I know, but we know the surrounding cast that he had with the Vikings. They had a great offensive line. And I think that these turnovers that Sam Darnold has been having, he's had 6 over the last 3 weeks, could be the differential between this game. They're stacked on both sides. Both teams are very complementary football teams. Special teams edge to the Seahawks. But McVay, being a smart coach that he is, always gets stuff kind of tightened up.
How surprised are you by how well the Seahawks are playing this year? Or are you not?
You know, I give Mike McDonald a lot of credit. You know, he becomes first-time head coach last year, clearly not happy with the offense. Took him about half the season to get the defense playing the way he wanted to, and they finished really strong down the stretch. Clearly didn't love the direction of the offense. He goes out, he brings in Clint Kubiak. Again, it's that Shanahan, McVay, under center, marry the run and the pass, everything a lot of the top teams around the league are really going towards. But then they needed the quarterback that fit that, and I think they looked at what Darnold did last year in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell, a very similar kind of background, similar playing philosophy. And through the first 10 weeks, they look like geniuses.
I mean, I remember doing a game break last week. It was 35-0 with 6 minutes left in the second quarter when the Seahawks were facing the Cardinals. The Cardinals get a San Francisco team today that gets Brock Purdy back for the first time since week 4. Jules, are you a fan of bringing Brock back?
I'm a fan of bringing Brock Purdy back if he's 100%. The only thing that really differentiates Brock from Mac Jones is his escapability. And if he doesn't have that, the turf toe is tough, man. The turf toe retired Deion Sanders, okay? You've had turf toe. You talk about how hard it is. We see how Joe Burrow's handling it. If he doesn't have that escapability, Mac Jones went 33 for 39 last week. He hasn't been the problem why they've lost games. So I think if Brock is 100%, yes, you got to put him in. That's your guy. If he's not, I think you got to let you roll with Mac Jones, let that thing heal.
What do you expect to see from him today, Greg?
Yeah, I agree with Jules to a degree. I do think the challenge, though, if this was a year ago and you don't have the $200+ million contract hanging over the team and the cap space allocation, you can't pay a quarterback $50 million a year and not play him. So I think that's probably really the deciding factor between, has Mac Jones been the problem? Absolutely not. Has he won them some games? Yes. Defensively, the injuries, the whole picture of the 49ers is complicated, but when Brock Purdy's been healthy, playing in that Kyle Shanahan system over the last 3 or 4 years, he's been amongst the best quarterbacks in the league. You got to put him back out there.
But he goes in there, he doesn't perform well. How's his confidence going to be going into the back half of the season when they need it to be at an all-time high? If his confidence gets shot, I mean, that could be their problem.
Into the back half. Do they have enough left in the tank with all the injuries and everything to make a run?
Yeah, no, I don't think they do. I've been trying to ride with San Francisco, over the past few weeks because I know that Shanahan will have the team prepared. But I just think the injuries to Bosa, the injury in particular to Fred Warner, who I think is the heart and soul of this team, I just think they're losing too much.
Too much?
Yeah, they're losing too much. So I don't think it's San Francisco. I think for the rest of the season, yeah, there's some winnable games on their schedule coming up, but there's too much to overcome.
Well, you know what, Greg? What a treat this was to have you in studio. You've never been in with us.
You look so big.
This is so thin.
But thin.
Yeah, you do look thin.
It's a new jacket.
It's a new cut?
Yeah.
All right. Everything looks great. The hair, the suit,
he's
the
a large
attitude.
I haven't had my hair done in a long time. I walked in, I got makeup, hair. I was like, this studio stuff is amazing.
No, I know. We don't have to deal with the elements, nothing. You won't have to deal with the elements either. You are in SoFi Stadium to call the Rams-Seahawks game. We can't wait to watch it.
Looking forward to it.
All right, coming up, Erin Andrews, you know her, Greg, checks in from Minneapolis. We will break down some marquee matchups to find a real deal when kickoff returns. Greg Olsen, former Seahawk Greg Olsen. What a treat.
Bills have to get back on track.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to bounce back.
Two of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Putting on a show.
It's two of the best teams in the NFC.
Really just talent across the board.
What a matchup we have.
Oh, my goodness. A huge AFC West showdown.
Mahomes was a magician with the football. The Broncos continue to find ways to win in this league.
What a matchup we have.
3 matchups today feature teams that we think are good, but it still feels like they need to prove it. So we're going to start off with that Bucs-Bills game. Julian, start us off. Who needs to prove it here?
I don't know who needs to prove it, but I think the Bills are going to win the game. You got a pissed off Josh Allen.
After coming off that loss to Miami.
And they got to play the game the right way. Look, their defense is 4th against the pass. They're 30th against the run. But if the Bills get a lead early, they run the football, and then they get their defense to play against the pass, that's how they win. They got to get back to where they were.
So you're not. We talked a couple weeks ago about being worried about the Bills, and you guys were like, You're worried going now. This is the end of the year. You know, the Bucs are banged up.
It's turning into the old Bills where they're relying on Josh Allen way too much. Defense can't stop the run. If James Cook isn't cooking, the team ain't cooking.
I think they'll be all right.
We're talking next, a huge matchup, huge game between the Chiefs and the Broncos. Broncos coming off that Thursday night game where they barely put up 10 points against the Raiders. They take on the Chiefs that are coming off a bye. We know how good Andy Reid is there. Who needs this one, Charles?
I think the Broncos need it, and I think and I think that
they sit atop the division.
They sit atop the division, but still, when you look at the game, we just talked about the game against my Raiders, right? They struggled.
You still claiming them? Nice.
I still claim my Raiders. And Bo Nix, he didn't look sharp.
No.
And I think for this team, yes, they have an 8-2 record, but when you look at them, they start the game slow a lot of times, and then they try to rely on Bo Nix to come back in the fourth quarter. That's not going to work down the stretch, and then it's not going to work against the Kansas City Chiefs. And so they're going to have their dynamic duo of pass rushers are going to have to get at Patrick Mahomes today to make it tough on him. Other than that, man, the Broncos need to show without a Patrick Surtain.
See, that surprises me.
Dobbins is out too.
And Dobbins.
I would say that the Chiefs would need this more because you don't win this game, then you fall that much further down in the division. You're sitting at 5-5. These two teams will meet again on Christmas, actually. All right, finally, 2 of the NFC's best teams meet between the Lions and the Eagles. Charles, start us off on this one. Who needs this one more?
I think the Lions need it because, look, the playoff window doesn't stay open very long for many people. For the Tom Brady, it did it for Patrick Mahomes. But for other teams, it doesn't happen. The Lions, a couple years ago, in the NFC Championship game, they lose it, a couple fourth downs, didn't get it. Last year, best record in the league, 15-1, beat at home. So they got to show that they can go on the road, that they have to go on the road in the playoffs, and they got to beat the defending champions and show us that they're ready to do that if they're trying to get to the Super Bowl.
Go ahead,
it's going to be tough against a Philly team outdoors in a crappy condition, weathered game. Jared Goff loves dome, loves playing in dome. Loves playing in dome.
Okay, we're going to leave that right there. Staying in the NFC, let's get up to speed. Brought to you by State Farm. Aaron Andrews is in Minnesota. Good morning, darling. How are we?
Good morning. Good. I'm laughing at Jules' crappy conditions. Aaron Andrews likes a dome, too. Not only Jared Goff. I've done a Jared Goff game outside, Jules. He has a few words to say about that.
We'll see. We'll see, EA. We'll see. I mean, you can't bet against Philly in a weather game at Philly.
I can't bet against you in salmon, Jules. You look great.
Yeah, exactly. A rose by any other name would not smell as sweet as this guy. Hey, we're going to stay with the quarterback situation here, EA. Two quarterbacks who will forever be linked because of that 2024 draft in Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy. You talked to both sides this week. Sort of what's the vibe as they both are sort of going in different directions?
Absolutely. Well, let's start with the Bears. Won their last 6 out of 7. Ben Johnson telling us this week, you know, what's turned their season around is the turnover battle and the fact they've been able to win games in the fourth. And he told us, look, Caleb gets it. And what's most important right now with Chicago is that they're winning games. He did say at some point he wants this team to learn how they're winning the games instead of just being like, woohoo, we won. No one needs to say woohoo, by the way. What is important for the Bears, though, is going up against this Brian Flores Vikings defense. Ben Johnson admitting to us, I haven't slept much this week. It's all about taking care of the ball for Chicago. And CT, you want me to go ahead and tee up the Vikings?
I would love you to tee up the Vikings. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Hey, they weren't saying woohoo against the Ravens. I spoke with quarterback J.J. McCarthy, who, by the way, is making his 5th start today. Very inconsistent in that loss to the Ravens. You know, 8 false starts, frustrated with Justin Jefferson. He told me this week, going back to the little things, the basics, something that they really focused on when they went up against Detroit. We had that game. They looked fantastic, but he said kind of went back to old ways against the Ravens. They went back to the basics. And that hand, by the way, for J.J. McCarthy, there was a lot of chatter. It was pretty bandaged up. He said he's good to go. KOC, Kevin O'Connell, he told us he threw the ball as well as he's seen him this week, so that shouldn't be an issue. What's an issue is that I said woohoo on your show.
That's never an issue. I also appreciate that I get to see Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady behind you.
Behind me? And Chris Carter. What a dream.
And Chris Carter, of course, Vikings legend. We love Chris, the Hall of Famer. You are our Hall of Famer. Thank you as always. I love you.
Love you, Shelby.
Have a great game, honey.
Bye, babe.
All right, we're taking a break. The number 1 pick, Cam Ward, has been sacked 38 times, pick 6, and now has the Texans defense coming to town. A tall task.
Cam.
We will break it all down with Michael Strahan on the other side when kickoff returns.
Let's go, Cam.
Easy to celebrate, brought to you by Bud Light. Last week, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson combined for 4.5 sacks and sparked a crazy 26-point fourth quarter turnaround win, one that everyone should celebrate. It was incredible, right, Charles?
Too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit. Let's talk about them.
The dynamic duo.
Behind the scenes. There we go.
Seriously, we love having this guy here, Michael Strahan. This is our topic segment, the importance of the edge rusher. So who better to take the edge off than everybody's favorite, Michael Strahan?
Yes, baby.
Look at this guy.
I don't know if I'm everyone's favorite, but I'm my mama's favorite. That's all I know.
Hey,
you are. You're America's favorite.
That's all that matters.
You know what else is someone's favorite? A good edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is doing it the best right now in the league?
The guy, man, if I look now and I always think if I could be that one guy, the one guy who does it best, but the team just can't get together, Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett, there's no one like Miles Garrett. He's one of my favorite, both
What
dominant,
makes him so special?
Because he can do everything. He for a guy that his size and of his strength, he can power over you. He can beat you around the edge. He opened at the hips like a Derek Thomas used to do, which was always
Show me what you mean.
You want to show me?
Yeah, show me what you mean.
You know, to go up the field and then to be able to open and come inside or outside. He has the ability, like most big guys don't, to really get a clean up the field and a really clean underneath. Most guys, you're a little stiff in the hips.
Got it.
So
Okay.
but his strength and everything, no one like him. Michael Parsons is special. T.J. Watt is special, but I don't think there's anybody like Miles Garrett.
So you could say he could salsa dance pretty good.
He can salsa dance pretty good. Well, you know what? But also what I love about him and I love about the other T.J. Watt, they play the run too. I hate when they go edge rusher and the guy just wants to come in and pass rush. You got to earn the right to pass rush by stopping the run in the first place.
Jules is pointing. You like that, Jules?
I always say that. You got to earn the right to rush the passer.
Yeah.
You got to stop the run before you do that. I think that's huge.
And Charles, what does that do for you on the back end when you've got guys up front like that?
Man, when you have a front like that, it wins Super Bowls. And when I think about my time playing, the 2 Super Bowl teams we played against, the New York Giants, what did they have? They had pass rush. They had a dominant defensive line. When you think about those teams, you remember the defensive line. You don't know anything about the secondary. I don't know who played in y'all secondary.
I don't.
But you know who I know? You see what I'm saying? But I know Justin Tuck, I know OC, and I know our guy here, Strahan. And when you think about the Super Bowl last year, Philadelphia against Kansas City, the only reason why we know Cooper DeJean's name is because he took one back to the house. Yep. But other than that, the rest of the DBs you don't know because the defensive line had already taken care of the game. And so when you have guys like that when you have multiple guys up front, like they had, then you win Super Bowls. That's the difference.
I'm glad you brought up multiple guys because that's what they have down in Houston, right? With Danielle Hunter, with Will Anderson. And what does that do when you know that whole line, top to bottom, can get the job done straight?
Charles said they said the best pass defense is the pass rush. And when you have 2 guys, how do you stop 2 guys? Right. You can't double both of them. And if you try to double, you get 2 other guys are open. So it really opens it up for the interior guys. If you have an interior tackle who's a good pass rusher, especially when you have 2 guys like those 2 down in Houston, and say you have a third who comes off the bench. For us, it was Justin Tuck. Yep. And we used to watch him and marvel, and I used to always say to Tucker, he and OC used to always say, we're going to kick you out the league, old man. And I was like, and I told Tuck, I said, you will always be a backup as long as I decide to play football. That was my comeback. But in reality, I knew that Justin Tuck was just as good, if not better, than I was. Yeah. And that was our difference. So when you have 2 guys, especially if you can get 3, you're unstoppable.
Well, that's the thing about Myles Garrett. Like, he's that one guy. And you see offensive line, they shift 3 guys to Myles Garrett. Like, he doesn't have, like, Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. There's 2 guys. So you got to.
He's still dominant with all of that.
And he's one guy. He's beating tight ends. He's beating the tackle. Like
but if you're his teammate, honestly, you should be ashamed of yourself if you don't have double digits.
You should be killing the one-on-ones.
You should have double-digit sacks.
Jules, for you on the offensive side of the ball from the receiver position, how can you help mitigate a good pass rush? Oh, no, you're good.
You know what? When you're dealing with the guy that's getting at the quarterback super fast, it brings me – I have PTSD of Von Miller in the AFC Championship in 15, where he was in the backfield before I was out my routes. And so as a receiver – it tells you a simple thing. Get open quicker. If I have 6 yards I got to get to in a zone coverage, I'm getting that 3 because Tom had to get the ball out quick. It makes the quarterback clock in your head disappear when you have a guy that's in the quarterback's lap all day. It's a tough task to go against.
And I would imagine, and for you, Woody, if that's the case, you know you can play tighter. You know the quarterback's not going to have a lot of time. He's going to have to take chances and throw balls.
I'm biting on everything.
Gamble.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have a second move. When you have a rush like that, there's no second move. So if I think you're running that slant, I'm jumping the slant. I ain't waiting for you to give me no little wiggle and get back on field. That ball's coming out because those guys are going to be in the back.
We haven't talked about Denver, but right up there. Just as like
Benito,
the way they're going, Cooper, they're going to set the sack record in the season. These guys are, and Allen, what they get? He looked like he is like chopping wood in the offseason. That is one big, strong-looking dude who just gets it done. But the way that they're rushing the passer, if they can get their offense to pick it up a little bit, this team is the best in that division. But that defense, that pass rush is literally, I think they could set the record.
Best defense in the league? Because the Texans.
I would say because of their secondary. Get healthy back there, definitely.
Yeah, get Pat Surtain back on the back end there. Stray, thank you for being here. We appreciate you always. He can still do it. He can still do it, folks.
I'm going to chip him. I'm going to chip him. It takes 2 to get this guy.
While they do that, free-to-play games where you can win real money. Head to Fox Sports.
Look at my form. Oh, I'm hurt. Oh, I got form.
Super 6, sponsored by DraftKings. Today's question, which team will score the most points? Which one of these guys just pulled a hamstring?
I did.
You're the best. Thank you for joining us. Who's got the edge?
I was a thoroughbred. I didn't pull a hammy.
For more than 50 years, Chicago's been stuck in the loop. An endless cycle of dread, dysfunction, and disappointment at the most important position in sports. And while they've succeeded before, in spite of those under center, lately, they haven't succeeded at all. But now, they're finally breaking the loop, thanks to the guy they've long been looking for.
Chicago is an awesome town and known for many incredible things. NFL quarterbacks are not one of them yet. Caleb Williams is doing his best to change that narrative, and as they say, better late than never.
What do you want in a franchise quarterback? You want the arm strength. You want the swagger and the leadership. You want the ability to lead game-winning drives.
Kind of feel in the game and throughout the game, you know, when it's time to go win the game.
We will go score. Just do your job.
Just being in the moment is, I think I've done a good job with over my career. You know, just being able to provide that sense of focus, being able to provide that sense of calmness in those moments. You know, those are the key moments.
15-10. Tiptoes in. This is the fourth time in the last 6 games that Caleb Williams will lead a game-winning drive.
He's got ice in his veins.
There's a bunch of different times where we could have won the game or put up a bunch of different points.
Give up a 17-9
in all these different games. But that's what the NFL is.
Here's a guy that right now is not quite settled in. I don't care who you are, how talented you are.
Rhythm. It's not flashy right now.
You know, when you have that belief, it goes a long way, even when things aren't perfect. You know, when I said that this is what I wanted to do, this is where I wanted to be, and I could help and be a part of and make the change, you know, I truly meant that.
Good gets better. Anybody gets better. Anybody gets better.
It's prepared me for the moment we're in, but also preparing me for the latter years that are coming up, and I think it's going to help us.
He's going deep. He's got it.
Can you say Chicago Bears NFC North champion?
I'm really excited for where we're at now and what we're striving to go for.
Good for this young man.
Yeah.
All the criticism around him, all the pressure. They've won 6 of their last 7 after starting 0-2. Take us inside that locker room. Jay Glazer back from Starbucks and joining us now. What do we need to know
my 6 Starbucks right now,
about this young man?
Steady as a rock. Here's the thing. Remember, I think week 1, our show here, I told everybody that they're not sure. Like, the jury's still on Caleb Williams. Well, that jury has delivered their decision.
They've deliberated and they love it.
They love what they've seen. And they said specifically one. And Case Keenum's done a great job there. He's their 3rd string quarterback. But he's really helping teach him how to be that pro. Really be the first one in, last one there, last one to leave. But also his decision making, especially in the 4th quarter. They said he is so calm now. The game has slowed down. And the thing that really did it for him is, they didn't realize this, but he was mic'd up for a couple of games. And they said, let's actually hear what he says in there, especially in the 4th quarter. And he was so calm and lifting his teammates. And they didn't know that part of it. Now they know how he really is when bullets are flying. They love what they got from Caleb Williams.
Yeah, tied with Tampa Bay and Denver for the most 4th quarter comebacks. And that shows his maturity,
Absolutely.
Not panicking, being able to show up in those big moments. Jules, who do you like in this one today against the Vikings?
I like the Bears. And as Jay's been talking, you could see the confidence spewing off the television with this team, and it comes from Caleb. Operationally, he's getting better. It's a lot of verbiage in a Ben Johnson offense. He's got to take the personnel group in. He's got to communicate the play. He's got to get to the line of scrimmage. He's got to take a picture of the defense. He's got to make sure his offense is set. Then he's got to go in, and there's a lot of adjustments, and you see the confidence getting better and better. He takes care of the football. He's got intangibles that we all know he can make. He can move around and do nothing. I like the confidence and the swagger of the Bears right now.
Okay, we'll go over to this Giants-Packers game. Jameis Winston takes over at quarterback because Jackson Dart in concussion protocol. Of course, Jay told us at the beginning of the show all the different names that are throwing out with the head coaching position. But I want to talk about your Packers for a second. Which Packers team are we going to get? Because the Packers have scored fewer than 14 points over the last 2 games. How do they get back on track today?
Well, the great thing about the Packers is that they get a chance to watch film. And if they watch their film from last week, they had a lot of opportunities in that game to make plays and to score touchdowns. And Jordan Love has to say to himself, you know what, this is on me. Go back into that film room and look at what I did wrong. There was time when he stepped up in the pocket where guys were coming open. He chose to run the ball, and he was taking sacks, or he was getting tackled for short games. And so he has to go back, and this is an inward-looking thing for him. But guess what? The positive thing is, the defense is playing well.
Yeah.
As long as your defense is keeping you into ball games, we will get the offense right. And all this talk about firing the coach, we got to stop firing coaches so fast. People talk about Matt LaFleur and getting him out of there and looking for the next coach. Forget about all that.
Forget about all that. We're not firing you. Guess what, guys? Fox's newest all-star broadcaster, Drew Brees, heads to the booth for his debut call. More from him next hour on Fox NFL Sunday. We'll be right back.
See you, Drew.
What a fun show we had. I just get a front row seat to the nonsense.
The best left tackle in the game right there.
Got a double.
Inside out.
There's a reason that him and TJ Watt are tied for the most sacks in a single season right there. All right, time for our picks. I am taking the Niners today over Arizona. Charles?
I am taking the Seattle Seahawks, and their defensive line outplays the Rams' defensive line. I got the Seahawks.
I'm taking the Bears. I think I just choked on a Polish sausage there, Bubs.
This guy's crazy.
That was a horrible.
America's taking the Falcons. We will see you next week, everyone. Enjoy.
Dude,
Fox NFL Sunday starts right now.
Iowa somewhere.